Come to a Stoma bag change with me. It's important to have your kit ready, preferably the night before, and we just lay it all out ready. Not the best angle, but this is me doing my bag change, so we're just gonna peg the top up, just get it out of the way because obviously you don't want any mess on that. So I have an apron that I'm going to lay over my lap just to keep the mess to a minimum. I have paper towels that I've reused from other things, and I just prepare all my bits and pieces by opening them up and laying them out all in order. A quick tip: if you have a weak bladder, you may use pads, and these are great for absorbing output, especially with a high output stoma. Bag changes can be very messy, so having a pad that is still fairly clean from maybe the night before, you can just use that. Not everybody does this, but I personally prefer to use gloves, as I know it's my own output and stoma, but it's still technically your bum, and I don't really want to have output all over my hands. So here I'm just going in with some adhesive remover spray and squirting that all around the products that I've got stuck to my skin. Adhesive removers are really good at removing any sticky residue and make the product just literally pull off without having to tug at your skin. This is me just trying to get a better angle to show you what the stoma looks like once the bag is being removed. And this is an adhesive remover wipe, which just wipes up any of the residue that's still stuck to your skin, especially around the stoma site itself. And it's best to get rid of any residue that builds up, as it can often have output built into it as well. So you just want to completely get a fresh start on your new bag. You also want to check the stoma itself to make sure that everything is intact, or if you've got any issues such as indentations, any sore marks, you just want to keep an eye on your stoma all the time. Also, as you can tell with my stoma, it sticks out, and this is called a prolapse. It's not an issue, and actually compared to my first stoma where it retracted, it was in line with the skin, and this would then leak into all my other products and make my skin super raw. You can use dry wipes and use water on this, or paper towels with water to clean up any of the adhesive remover that you've put on and get any output out of the way. This is because if you then try to apply the bag, the adhesive remover can affect how effective it is. Now it's clean, you can see the stoma itself a lot clearer. And we want to just fully dry that area. We have some barrier spray which helps protect the skin. So I just spray it where the bag was, and this prevents the skin getting sore. You can also get wipes, and these also help to protect the skin and especially rub it into the areas that may be slightly broken or red. These fusion applicators are a little swab on a stick. They provide extra barrier protection as well as giving a sticky substance to help make your bag stick better. The area needs to dry before you can put any appliances on. The next things are barrier rings, and this helps create a seal around the stoma. You gently mould it by pulling it and moulding it around your stoma. You can rip them and attach them, but I like to slide it over the top as I feel there's a weak spot if you do rip them up. And as you're pushing it on, gently mould it if you need to make it bigger, and press it down securely, moulding it to make sure any gaps are closed around the stoma. Now, because my stoma is a high output stoma, which means it produces more than 2 litres a day and is a short bowel, it outputs a lot, and this often happens when I am doing a bag change, so I have to wait for the output to all come out before I put the appliances on, otherwise the appliances will become damaged, and yeah, it's just not a fun time really. Now this is the key tip. This is stoma paste which I've put in an empty syringe, which I do the night before, and it saves so much hassle, it really does, because it can be so messy to apply. So the night before I can fill up the tube with stoma paste, and this provides such a more accurate way of applying it. So I squirt it between the ring and the stoma in case there's any gaps that are like there, and it stops the output leaking into the ring, causing there to be leaks down the line if the appliance becomes less adhesive or for whatever reason it just creates an extra barrier around the stoma. Now I'm just going to prep the bag. So I've already cut the hole according to my stoma, and so I'm just going to peel off the sticky back paper. And this surface is sticky, but for me it's not sticky enough, and I've had bags not really last very long. So this is where I go in with the fusion stick again, and I just wipe it all over that area just to add that extra tackiness to the bag to help it stick for a longer period of time. I also use the fusion to just go over all the skin which the bag will cover, just to again increase that chance of making the bag stick for longer. It is so important to feel confident in your appliances, and feeling secure and well intact is so vital in feeling you can just get on with your day. Again, having to wait because yes, the Stoma decided it wanted to have a little fountain session going on. So I'll not make you have to watch all that, but yeah, that's what was going on. But this is why it's important to have things like an incontinence pad or paper towels just to stop spillages going everywhere, as I've learnt the hard way. So I just pull the plastic slightly away from the base, and this is just to get a bit of air into the bag, as if there's not enough air, it kind of creates like a vacuum, and that makes the stoma output on top of itself and it can't get down the bag, and that's when it can seep down through the hole and leak into your products, and this then causes the bag to leak. Because of the nature of my stoma and it being high output, I need to keep an eye on the output quite a lot in case I need to make adjustments, and also it helps for lining up purposes that the bag is transparent. So I know people want to cover it up, but for me and a practical use, I go for transparent, and I'm really securing it down. So I press down firmly where I've stuck it once it has lined up, and I stretch upwards, as you can see there, and that's just to make sure it lays flat against the skin, because if you're hunched over it can cripple the bag up, and then later on when you do stretch up it then pulls the bag away and it becomes unstuck. So yeah, just make sure you're quite long and sitting up straight when you stick the bag on. Plus with the end there, as it's a little tap, I'm blowing air, I'm not putting my mouth on it, but I'm blowing air into the bag just to get that bit of air to stay in there for now. These are called flange extenders or bananas, and they are used to create a larger space that sticks to your skin. So these go onto the base that has already stuck to your skin, as you'll see in the video. So I'm gently pulling the product apart to kind of allow for the paper to peel away. Again, in with the mighty fusion stick, and we just wipe this over the base of the bag and onto the skin next to it, and this will be just a tacky layer that the flange extenders can stick better to. I start off with getting one flange extender and putting this on the bottom half of where the stoma bag is, where it links to the skin. Just kind of line it up before you stick it on, just so it doesn't like crease up the bag or anything, and it sticks smoother. Apologies for the angle not being the best, as I kind of filmed this on the spur of the moment, so I didn't have a camera set up. Like the bag, you want to really press this down, as during the day they can pull up and curl up, peel away from the skin, so just ensure that you've got the most security possible by pressing down and making sure it's stuck. And a final swab over of these just to overlap, which is where the top flange will go. As you get to use these products, you'll get to know the feel of them better, how long around the bag they go, and this will kind of just, it'll help you be able to line them up easier in the future. Again, as I say, sit up straight so that you can stick these products down without them peeling up later on during the day. As you can see, I'm just smoothing everything down, just pressing everything down, just as a final check. So I'm just getting the final bit of air in there as I'm sticking things down. The air can sometimes come out of it, and this is just so I can then get the hose off of my old bag that I took off, and then I can attach that to the new bag. And ta-da, we have done a bag change. It's so important that everyone gets a good feel for their products, have a good fit, and are comfortable in what they're wearing. Help beat the stigma, so please like, subscribe and comment and help more people.